At a recent retirement conference, an elderly gentleman stood up, looked me straight into the eye, and said, Hardy, in South Africa, 80 has become the new 60, because the reality is most people just can't afford to retire. And sadly, he's not wrong. Sanlam Corporate recently studied South Africans in their umbrella fund. The results were sobering. At age 65, the industry benchmark says that you should have saved enough to replace 75% of your final salary, but the average South African, they only reach 25%. That means most people retire on just 1/4 of the income they need to maintain their lifestyle. Sobering? Absolutely. But here's the surprising truth. Your retirement reality doesn't have to match these statistics. Before we dive in, hit like, subscribe, and join our free retirement community. The link is in the description below. It's where we share weekly insight, tools, and strategies to help you plan for a better retirement. In today's video, I'll show you how retirement spending actually works. I'll also show you 5 practical steps for making better money decisions. We will also look at the 3 key factors that research shows lead to far more successful retirement outcomes when you have a clear plan. For those new here, I'm Hardy Swart, Certified Financial Planner and a Director at Family Wealth Custodians. For more than 15 years, I've helped families structure their portfolios, reduce tax, and design the perfect retirement. The retirement they actually dreamed of. Quick disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only, and it doesn't constitute personal financial advice. Always consult a professional financial planner before making any big financial decisions. Now, let's start with the basics of spending and retirement. There's a lot of misunderstanding around spending and retirement. The rule of thumb says that most people will spend between 70 and 80% of their pre-retirement income once they stop working. And while that's broadly true, it's far too simplistic. People often say to me, but Hardy, I'll have far more time on my hands. I'll be eating out more, I'll be traveling more. How can my spending go down? And that's a fair question. The reality is that spending peaks in your late 40s and early 50s. Think about it. You're still paying for your home, kids may be in school or at university, and life is expensive. At the same time, you're earning more than ever before, and you give yourself permission to spend a little extra. That's often when households start upgrading, moving away from the cheap and cheerful and choosing a quality that lasts. But from that point onward, spending begins to decline. Around the age of 50, many people also wake up and say, I need to get serious about my retirement. So while living costs start to ease, savings begin to accelerate. If we look at data from the 2024 FNB Retirement Insight Survey, where we look at the expenditure of participants older than the age of 60, and we focus on those earning more than 70,000 Rand per month, which they refer to as the affluent and wealth segment, we can see the following. After the age of 60 and the final years before they reach retirement, their budgets looks as follows. They spend approximately 5% of their budget on medical care, 6% on leisure and activities, 6% on servicing of credit accounts or debts, 8% on clothing and consumables, 14% on general savings and investments, and 8% on housing, rent or bond, 11% on transport, 23% on insurance and medical aid, and 17% on groceries. Now, of course, this is an average and not exact for every person, but this gives us a very clear idea. By the time you reach retirement, a few major things often change, all at the same time. First of all, you stop saving for retirement, freeing up a big chunk of your budget, approximately 14% according to the data. Your bond is either paid off or close to it, which can save you an additional 8%. Your children are usually financially independent, which means you save on groceries, clothing, consumables. That's potentially another 4 to 5%. You also spend less on transport by not having to commute to work every day. This could potentially cut your transport costs in half, saving another 5%. And you don't have any credit card or clothing debts, saving you another 6%. That combination frees up a lot of cash flow, potentially freeing up between 25 and 35% of your budget, even though in the first few years of retirement, most people spend more on travel, hobbies, and dining out. So yes, spending peaks in your late 40s and early 50s, may rise briefly when you retire, but ultimately it declines as you move through retirement. That's why we have developed a dynamic retirement income plan at Family Wealth Custodians. Because after working with thousands of retirees, we have seen that even though spending in retirement generally decreases, there are still three distinct phases in retirement. The first phase of retirement we call the go-go years. That's early retirement, the first 10 to 15 years, where we have seen that retirees spend the most year on travel, hobbies, and lifestyle. Secondly, we look at the slow-go years, where it was middle retirement, the next 8 to 10 years. Here we see that travel slows down, lifestyle spending eases. The final phase is the no-go years or late retirement. This is from your late 80s onwards. There is less lifestyle spending but much higher medical costs. This framework makes sure you enjoy your money while you're healthy but still have enough set aside for later life care. Now, when it comes to building the retirement budget, we build the budget from the bottom up, starting with medical costs. Medical aid and health-related costs form the basis of the retirement budget planning process. This is a non-negotiable. It's lifelong and running at 10 to 12% inflation in South Africa. For most retirees, medical costs will form 5 to 10% of their budget early in retirement and can grow up to 60 to 80% of their final year's budget. Next, we look at basic living costs. These include things such as housing, groceries, transport, insurance, growing at 5 to 7% inflation. And then finally, we include discretionary spending. This includes travel, leisure, dining out, spending on their grandchildren, and hobbies. Heavy in the early years of retirement, but later on it gets much lighter. By going through this exercise, we ensure that medical expenses and basic living expenses are covered, and it provides flexibility when it comes to discretionary spending. It is flexible and provides guardrails when it comes to spending in retirement. It's one thing to understand the data, but knowledge on its own doesn't change anything. What matters is the action you take. Here are 5 practical steps to help you make better financial decisions in retirement. First, start with small actions. The hardest part is often just getting started. Don't overwhelm yourself by thinking you need the perfect plan on day one. Write down a simple checklist. Gather your investments and debt statements. Add everything onto one page. Identify gaps or concerns, and then book a call with a trusted financial advisor or a professional that can help you. Tick off one item at a time. Momentum builds confidence. Secondly, make your list your action plan. A list isn't just a to-do exercise, it's your roadmap. No plan is fail-proof, but small, consistent actions add up. Review it regularly, refine it as life changes, and keep moving forward. That's how you turn intention into progress. Thirdly, hold yourself accountable. Retirement success doesn't happen by accident. Set deadlines and track your progress. No excuses, no blaming others. It's your responsibility. The people who retire well are often not the luckiest, but the most disciplined. Fourth, practice delayed gratification. Saving is tough, especially when your budget is tight. But remember, every rand counts. Consistency is more powerful than size. Small, regular savings grow through the magic of compound interest, and over time they can transform your future. And number 5, don't settle for the status quo. Comfort zones feel safe, but they can hold you back. If your plan isn't working, review it and make changes. Be willing to adjust course. Often the biggest breakthroughs come when you shake things up a little bit. And here's what's fascinating. Research from the 2024 FNB Retirement Insight Survey found that retirees who have a plan are far more likely to succeed. In fact, of the 50% of South Africans who responded who actually put a plan in place, 3 common themes emerged that drive better outcomes. First, budgeting and managing spending. Those who plan to take control of their budgets, they cut back on luxuries when needed, live within their means, and think ahead for their children's education and future needs. They also make their savings habits automatic, whether it's increasing contributions, setting up debit orders, or some other form of forced saving. Secondly, debt management. Successful retirees are deliberate about clearing debt. They focus on paying off credit cards, car loans, and mortgages to secure their assets before retirement. Many also make considered spending decisions while still working, like completing a home renovation or upgrading a car so that they don't face those big expenses once they stop earning. And finally, they keep learning. They actively seek out information, talk to family members, and most importantly, they consult professionals, lawyers, accountants, financial planners to make informed decisions. It's no surprise that those who invest in knowledge make better long-term decisions. So the data is clear. Having a plan makes a real difference. Budgeting, tackling debt, and seeking advice aren't just good habits. They're the foundation of a successful retirement. And here's the key. Once you get into rhythm, taking small steps, following your plan, and holding yourself accountable, take a moment to acknowledge your progress. You may not feel like you've won just yet, but you're firmly on the road to financial freedom. Every step proves you're capable of taking control of your retirement journey. If you found this information helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the Family Wealth YouTube channel. Until next time, I'm Hardy Swart. This is Family Wealth. Keep investing into your future.